What's up everybody? In this video we're going to be talking about the Tokina 11-16mm and seeing if it's the best wide angle zoom lens for your Micro Four Thirds system. Welcome back everybody, I'm Jake McHugh and this channel is all about making better videos here on YouTube. I do gear reviews and test videos on the equipment that's out on the market to help you decide what gear you need to make the videos you would like to achieve. So if this is something that interests you, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hitting the bell, that way you get notified when I drop future videos like this one. Get things started with the Tokina 11-16mm f2.8. This is actually an APS-C sensor lens, so you can actually use it on lenses or on cameras that have a bigger sensor, but in order to use this on your Micro Four Thirds system, you will need to get a dummy adapter or a focal reducer or speed booster, and I happen to use the Viltrox MFT speed booster, and I actually really like that combo because with it being a focal reducer, it makes the 11-16 an 8-11, so it takes away that crop factor a little bit, and it also speeds up the lens from making it a 2.8 to an f2, so it gathers in more light and it makes it a little bit wider because it takes out the crop in the Micro Four Thirds sensor. So that is really awesome because it really helps you get a wider field of view and it allows in a lot more light. So out of the gate, this lens is really sharp, and even with the speed booster, it stays very sharp. And I really haven't had any issues with the image quality that I get out of this lens. I'm really fond of it actually. And it is bigger than your traditional Micro Four Thirds lens, but I find that it actually pairs really well with my GH5. And I actually came to like the size that this lens actually is. When it comes to video, continual autofocus with this lens is actually pretty much useless because it's an adaptive lens. But not only that, it's actually kind of noisy when autofocusing, so I just use manual focus. And what's nice about this is that it's actually got a really nice focus ring for manual focusing, and it's not focused by wire like your traditional Micro Four Thirds lens, meaning that you're actually moving the glass or the elements inside to focus rather than telling the camera via the focus ring where to change the focal point. So it's actually a lot easier to rack focus with this lens compared to your traditional Micro Four Thirds lens. When it comes to photo, I have actually found that the autofocus isn't really that terrible in good lighting, but once it gets into lower light, it kind of breaks down, and then you're probably going to want to use manual focus. One thing to note is that there's no manual or autofocus switch on this lens. It happens to be the focus ring itself. When it's in the up position like this, it's in autofocus, but if I happen to pull down on here, it's in manual focus now, and I can manual focus, and it changes the elements inside the glass to focus. And that's kind of nice because when you want to do something like a talking head like this, you can set the focus and then put it in the autofocus mode like this, and you can't bump this and change the focus. This lens isn't weather sealed, but it does have filter threads. They're 77mm, so it is kind of shows you that it is that bigger lens like I mentioned compared to your traditional Micro Four Thirds. But there's some also other wide angle zooms that are made for Micro Four Thirds that aren't weather sealed and they don't have filter threads as well. So when comparing this lens to the native mount wide zooms that are made for Micro Four Thirds, there's only really three lenses that come to mind. There's two by Panasonic, the 17 to 14mm f4. That's roughly $800 brand new, and it has no filter threads. And with it being an f4, it's kind of slow for Micro Four Thirds. There's the 8 to 18mm f2.8 to f4. That's about $1,000 brand new, and it's not a constant aperture, but that one does have filter threads. And then really the only other lens out there is the Olympus 7 to 14mm f2.8 Pro lens. That's like $1,200 brand new, I think, and it has no filter threads. It is weather sealed though, and it does have the constant aperture of f2.8. So when comparing the Tokina to these native mounts, I do really feel like it's a better buy in my opinion, because with the speed booster you get an f2 constant aperture through the whole focal range. It has filter threads. It's manual focus and not focused by wire, which is kind of a huge plus if you really like to do focus pulls or rack focusing. You can get this lens in the Canon EF mount, which is the one I happen to have, and that's a very adaptable lens. You can throw this on obviously your Canon crop sensor camera bodies. You could throw it on your Micro Four Thirds. You could throw it on cinema cameras like the C200, the Reds, or Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. It's very adaptable, so you could actually grow with this lens for a long time. And lastly, the price. This lens is about $380 brand new, and with the Viltrox SpeedBooster, it comes out to, I think that one's around $200 on Amazon. So for $500 to $600, you can get this lens combo, and it offers a lot more than any of the Micro Four Thirds lenses in the wide zoom range, in my opinion, and it's even cheaper. Also, if you shop around, you can find the Viltrox SpeedBooster brand new on eBay for $118. That's actually what I paid for mine, and this makes it even a better deal since that it's even lower cost, and it still offers way more than what the Micro Four Thirds wide zooms have to offer. So that's going to do it for this video here. I really like this lens here. I think it's a great solution for anyone that's looking for a vlogging type style lens for their Micro Four Thirds camera or their crop sensor like APS-C camera as well. It's really great for real estate. You can kind of just sneak in a corner of a room and make the room seem really big. If you're doing any real estate photography or videography, I really think this is a good lens to look at. With it being f2, it's really great indoors as well. It helps you get all that light that you can when you might suffer from low light indoors. And lastly, I think this would be great for landscape or even astrophotography. With that constant aperture at f2 with a SpeedBooster, it really helps with the low light situation, like when shooting at night. And also too, with that wide field of view, it makes it really great for landscapes. So that's going to do it for this video here. If you like it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the bell. That way you get notified when I drop future videos like this one. And last but not least, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.